Drug courts on a national level, have been around about 30 years, and they're a collaborative model that was instead of having your traditional legal model, which is you commit a criminal offense, here's the response. They just discovered that really doesn't work well with people with addiction. If adverse consequences cured addiction, we wouldn't have addiction. So this movement began down in South Florida, around Miami, Florida. They came up with this innovative model where they did a more collaborative model where the defense attorney and the prosecutor and the judge worked in conjunction with a treatment provider to help someone who is in the criminal justice system that was facing some criminal charges, but a substance abuse disorder was a significant component of that.
One night at a party, a friend introduced me to what I thought was the most magical thing ever. Meth, crystal, crank, speed, whatever you want to call it. We had such a good time. I was happy, invincible, the life of the party, had no worries, but most of all, I could care less what anybody thought. I was amazing. Little did I know I had just entered into the most cunning, manipulative, abusive relationship known to man. I danced this dance for 24 years. We had really good times, knockdown dragouts, time apart, but never for long. We always found our way back to each other because it was so much easier than dealing with the trials of life. Always sliding back in as if to say, look, I've got you. Haven't I always had you? And me answering back, yes, I'm sorry, you're the only one who's ever loved me and understood me for me. Finally, after years of failed relationships, friendships, more arrests than I can count, losing my family, jobless, homeless, and just plain lost, I was offered drug court August 8th of 2016. Believe me, this has been no walk in the park. I've struggled immensely. I've struggled to break old habits, and I mean it when I say that this program has saved my life.
And that's what this program does, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. If we had if you could just flip a switch and someone's cured to the better, we'd have a 90-day program, right? But this program's 18 to 36 months for a reason, because growth and change is a process. And to get somebody where they're really ready to graduate, productive members of society, they're flourishing, they've got their stable housing, stable jobs, and really stable in sobriety, it just takes a while. And it takes a lot of starts and restarts again, stop, restart, mess up, try again.
I'm so thankful for the entire staff that has put forth the effort and believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I now have the keys to living an honest and truly happy life, words of wisdom that I would like to give to those just beginning the program or still struggling. It does get easier. Put your recovery first every day and never give up. You are worth so much more. I would like to thank Judge Stoner, Linda Lee, Madison, the DA, and the entire drug court team for always being there for me. And I owe you a lifetime of gratitude. Thank you.
So these are the things that are dynamic factors. These are all things that are changeable. We can help someone change their beliefs. We can help people change who they hang out with, antisocial peer associations. We can help them get stable employment, increase education and training, help them stabilize their health, help with stabilize safe, stable, sober housing. We can address a substance abuse disorder, and we can address a mental health need. So when you look at criminal risk, this is something we can't do anything about, but this is something we can do something about. And we focus on every one of these areas when people come in this program. And so how high they score depends. So in order to get in this program, you have to be what we call high risk, meaning that you score high on all these criminal risk factors. And you're also high need, meaning you have a moderate to severe substance abuse disorder or a moderate to severe mental health need.
I'm Logan, I'm an alcoholic. Phase 3 was a learning experience for me. There was a few minor setbacks. I got to know Sergeant Pence and the jail labor sanction very well. But I learned my lesson each time, which has helped me grow in my sobriety. People, places, and things have been a trigger for me previously, but I've learned to cut off my old friends and to surround myself with right people in the right environment. I also learned the ability to say no when asked to go out or be somewhere that will give me the opportunity to use or drink. At first, I felt like I was forced to be sober, but now that I've been in the program for a while, I see it as a chance to change my life and my old ways. I've been in drug court for 1 year since last week, and I want to thank Judge Stoner, TLC, and the drug court team for giving me this opportunity to change myself for the better. I would have never tried to get sober if it wasn't for this program, and for that I am forever grateful. With that being said, my hands up.
Yes, you may. So this is the drug court sweet spot, is both high risk and high need, okay? These people need a lot of supervision and also a high level of treatment.
The day I got into drug court, like they said, all I heard was it's set up to fail. But when you're in Oklahoma County for over 6 months and they say they're going to let you out, you go with that. So as soon as I started drug court, I wasn't like everybody else. I wasn't ready, I wasn't prepared, I was ready to get out of jail. So that's what drove me to get into drug court. And it was like that for a while. I kept fighting it, and us addicts, we are really stubborn, and we don't like to hear what people tell us to do, and we do the opposite. So I would go to take my drug test. They wouldn't be clean, but I knew that I went. But they took, I don't know if they saw something in me or they just wanted to give me a chance because they didn't put me back in prison. And Judge Stoner sat there and told me, he says, it's not going to be easy, but I'll give you a chance. And so I kept pushing it because that's what I do, but he finally said, look, man, this is it. It's either you get it this time or you got to go to prison. And so that really took me a minute, but scared me straight enough to actually get a hold of this thing and try being sober. And it was the best thing I ever did in my entire life.
These people don't go to treatment. If they would have go to treatment, they would have gone the first, second, third, fourth time they were on probation. They don't go to treatment. You have to make them go to treatment. That's why I have high level supervision, and my people get sanctions if they don't go to treatment. So if they miss treatment, so we work on building a relationship with them and just emphasize what the program requires. And you have to go to treatment, and you have to be able to get where you're addressing your substance abuse disorder, and eventually want to get you where you can pass your drug test. And some of that takes time. Everyone kind of comes in at a different level. So some people are able to come in and be sober from the first day they plea in, and some people it takes weeks and months, and some people have to go to inpatient treatment before they can get to a point where they're clinically stable.
Hi, my name is Shanna, and I'm an addict.
Hi, Shanna.
And I've been using for over 20 plus years. Today I have 566 days clean. Today is a special day for me, you see. Sorry, I'm extremely nervous. Okay, I've done this once before in 2015 in Cleveland County Drug Court. I wasn't trying to get clean. I was only trying to escape going to prison and getting felonies removed from my record. I did not work a program of recovery, and I was high 2 days after graduation. So what's different this time, you ask? Everything. It wasn't until I was fishing in a toilet in Oklahoma County jail for drugs that I realized I had a serious problem, that my life was out of control.
Yep.
On April 19, 2018, I prayed to God asking him to save me from this dark place I was in. Ironically, 4/2018, or April 20th, 2018, is my clean day. I haven't used or drank since that day. I put into drug court on May 21st, 2018, which happened to be my 41st birthday, and I was released from the county jail. God sent me a sign that day. I have listened to every suggestion, participated in every group, showed up for every UA court date, and changed all of my people, places, and things. I am full of joy and happiness today. My past does not define me, and I will continue to help others and know that sobriety is never owned, it is rented, and rent is due every day.
That's the elements that we target when someone comes into treatment court. We work on all these issues here, and the science says these are all dynamic factors. If you change these, you can change the person.